What is going on, everybody? It is Antonius the Gamer here, once again joined by my co-hosts Super SSS Rank and Mikkel Smith. We are the Press Start Select podcast, back with another episode. Now, quick disclaimer, if you're watching the video episode, I do have sunglasses on. It's not because I'm feeling myself. I'm going through a couple of issues right now, optically, but hopefully next pod I'll be back to normal. Just want to get that out the way. But fellas, we have a lot of things to just get right into out the gate. One of which happened literally hours before we started recording the pod. Now, as a leader to this, normally, it's the three of us. We make up this pod. We're usually unified. Yeah, we have differing opinions, but we're usually on the same page. So, when Tim says I'm protesting Capcom, as his brothers, S Rank and I, we support this man. We back this man. Yes, give us Mega Man Legends 3. Don't cancel it. Reignite the studio. You want to sell us collections. You want to sell us every Mega Man collection, Mega Man X collection. Give us Mega Man Legends 3. So we backed him. Yeah, protest Capcom. They got to do right by our boy. But today, I realized that I might sell out for corporate ties if the price is right. And the price was correct.
Boy.
During the Nintendo Direct today, not only did we get a release date for the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, September 12th digitally, November 22nd physically, but we also got a surprise announcement that the Capcom Fighting Collection 2 is in the works and it will be here in 2025. And not only is it coming, but it's coming with all the games that we all collectively wanted. So as I load up the trailer, fellas, what were your initial thoughts on seeing this reveal at a Nintendo Direct of all places?
That was.
You go first, Jory.
That was a. Man, they just skimmed over it. Let's get this out the way. But yeah, man, it was a good one, man. It was a good reveal, a surprising reveal. Very surprised to see the collection was stacked like that. Everything I could have wanted plus more. I was just like,
yeah.
Wait, this is real? This is not no fake Twitter feed, no fake trailer. This is a Nintendo Direct. I was like, no way. Right. We was just talking about SNK a couple pods ago. We were just we mentioned Power Stone all in one go. Yo, we need to go back and reappoint ourselves as the prophets of gaming. Because now we've been on the money for how long now, right?
Yeah.
I mentioned not too long ago, I think Xbox is going third party. And here we are now, right?
Yeah,
but
we'll get there.
Save that. Yeah, we'll get there, right? Right, we'll get there. Okay, just make sure the Eat the Beat is ready. But yeah, this was a very, very stacked collection. Yeah. They getting my money 2 times.
Yeah.
I'm buying it on the Switch and on for the PlayStation.
Yeah. I'm like, they got me.
Man.
They got me.
Star Gladiator? I didn't even ask for this. Go ahead, run the trailer, man. Man, yeah. So at this point, I'm trying to understand the farm. Like, what is this? Capcom. Okay. All right. I'll see this. I said, wait, what? Who are these? Wait,
you start seeing the characters are like, is that a Power Stone character or something?
8 beloved games. Okay, I saw that, right? And I was like, okay, but then, oh my goodness.
That's when I was like,
And then they drop a 2 on us. Oh my goodness. They just dropped a 2 on another one. And we get electrocuted. I'm like, no. Oh, they don't got Alpha Plus though, right?
Nah, but
wrong again.
Still, Capcom,
They do.
And it's like, you want the Capcom deep dives?
Man. Oh man.
I saw this and it made me think of like the Doctor Strange thing from Infinity War. It's like we live in the one sacred timeline where this could have happened.
That's my favorite SNK, man.
Roll back.
Roll back.
Y'all realize we could all play Power Stone together in 2025?
In 2020 together.
Man. What a time.
My goodness.
All right, my turn. I'll go.
Go ahead.
I really appreciate the synergy between Capcom and SNK at the moment because you could tell that this was a discussion together. Because
1000%.
you had the shadow drop of SNK versus Capcom, and then just this out the blue. Because it's like people, that's what people were wondering. All right, so now where are the Capcom versions of the SNK crossover? And they just gave you so much. I was a bit confused as to why we didn't get, Street Fighter Alpha 3 Max.
Yeah.
And why didn't we get the first rival schools? But you know what? I'm not complaining.
Mm-hmm.
It is a very, very well put together package. And this plus the other fighting collection, bro, we eating good for a while, bro.
Oh, yeah. We are
And the thing about it is Capcom is really like trying to solidify the iron fist of, all right, you know what, that retro spot for at Evo,
yeah.
you're not taking that from us
Y'all
no
must
more.
have forgot. Y'all must have forgot.
Yeah, because from the Marvel versus Capcom collection, from the first Capcom fighting collection, and now this, it's like, well, we got 3 collections across the board that you just might have to just choose us.
Yeah. All with rollback netcode. All with all
Yeah.
the patches and everything, bugs fixed, all of that.
And then, to be
New
honest,
playable
man, like
characters.
I'm just
Mm-hmm.
happy because, this is just definitely the decisions that like just produces like such a longevity for these properties now. Now they're truly available for a market moving forward. Because remember, like I said, now, the PS4, PS5 ecosystem, in terms of what you do in digital purchases, this is going to be carried down for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
And so I'm very happy, man. I'm very, very happy with that. You could definitely tell that probably might be like a spring release.
Yeah. Because you also got to think about like what SNK has on the board as well, which we'll talk about in a little bit, right? With Call of the Wild, it's like I'm sure they don't want to step on each other when it comes to release dates. Now that they
Yes.
seem to be working together, just dropping back to back to back. Do you albums, right? Like 50 Cent
Dropping
mixtape
albums
run,
on
bro. Just G
Yeah.
Unit Radio Volume 12. I mean, I'm just.
That's crazy.
I was gonna ask, do you guys feel like the collection needed Rival Schools 1 since we're getting Rival Schools 2 and it's basically just a better version of the first one? Because like I look at like Power Stone, right? Power Stone 1 and 2 are actually very drastically different games mechanically. So it makes sense why there's 2, they put 1 and 2 in there. Do you feel like we needed Rival Schools 1?
Yeah. When I was looking back, I was like, all right, you know what? I do understand. I do
Yeah.
get it to a degree. Because even when you look at the title, Project Justice, it's not like just pointed out there, oh, rival schools too. Like, no, it's like it has like its own identity of its own in terms of title. So, but then in terms of like what it really is and what it really truly means. So, and like I said, man, I also feel like they're also using these collections as a way to see, what does the public want moving forward? Because as Street Fighter, we keep saying that they need to expand their properties in other areas. So they're trying to see it like, all right, do y'all still like these things?
Yeah.
And we do.
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 All right, so show us where the money is, and then we'll consider
Oh
it for the
yeah.
future.
Oh yeah.
That's
Say less.
basically
It's
what it
stamped and
is.
pressed already, guys.
say
Stamped
less.
and pressed.
When they're like, yeah, pre-order Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, you get like a free comic book that comes through. I'm like, well, yeah, sure, why not? I will. Don't you worry. I'll be there.
Yo, and then right, okay, even on top of that, man, like now our wildest dreams have come true. What else can come true? Perhaps a Mega Man Legends collection.
Possibly.
I think they got one more in the tank. I think they're gonna probably once the fourth Marvel collection, fighting game collections come out, it's probably gonna be EX. It might be Project Justice. Other games that we probably weren't even sure, like, this is actually coming out. And after that, they'll start thinking, you got like, because this is answered prayer.
Yeah, no,
This
seriously.
is answered prayer. This is direct response to all the comments. How many times people have been asking for Power Stone?
Mm-hmm.
How many times people have been asking for rival schools? You get them all plus Marvel Capcom versus SNK 2. You get all of that
1 and 2.
in
One
and 2, all there.
Yeah. And the one thing that I do
Oh
love
wait,
too,
you didn't like Fighting Jams? We apologize. We'll clean it up for you guys.
I think what I like too is like they're not afraid to like pull from like their deeper properties. So like I
Yeah.
recently bought the Capcom Beat 'em Up collection because it was on sale for $10. Like, oh,
Mhm.
and what I liked about it is like you can see the influences to even like the Marvel vs. Capcom roster of like, yeah, here's Captain Commando and his team and their game. Here's where we got the idea for Jin and his machine Blodia. Like, you know, like you see all these things and how these all kind of came together. So like I like the fact that was it Hayato or Jin or whatever his name? No, Hayato, right? From and like
Naoto, yeah.
his game.
Star Gladiator.
Yeah, it's just like I like that they're like, I know this is a deep cut that it's not going to be the big seller, but if you want to know the origin of how we got to this character, there's not some random that we made up. This character has a history, and you can play it.
Has a history, and you can play it now.
And I saw the raw stuff and I game. I was like, bro, who are all these people?
Exactly. Who? Bro, there's this one game on the Beat 'em Up collection called, I think, like Battle Circuit or whatever. And I promise you, I can't. I'm like, I don't know who any of these people are, but I like the
They
designs.
look crazy.
Yeah, but I like the designs.
They look insane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
man.
I don't know. It's gentlemen, is it safe to say Capcom is back? I don't know. Like they've been feeding the streets. Street Fighter 6 was dope.
Yeah,
The DLC
Street
characters
Fighter
have
6
been
is getting
fire.
great. Terry? Y'all seen Terry?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll get to him. He's his own separate topic, but
Okay.
he looks fire. Like the crossover.
Fire's not even a word, man.
The deal.
You got that Christopher Nolan hand on homeboy, kid. Like, yo.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Can we say that? Like, is Capcom back? Are we in a place where like we're willing to, you know, hey, I'm looking forward to Capcom Presents. You know, when I see the logo pop up again, or are we still a little skeptical?
We'll breathe quietly now.
They still got their hiccups because remember that event where Capcom Presents and it was just straight like Dead Rising collections, and I was like, that's
true.
really,
yeah.
So they still got their hit or miss moments, but at least with their fighting game department and I would say Resident Evil, they're doing very, very well.
Yeah. You could tell that like they're setting the standard of like the legacy companies of how to reintroduce your IPs to a modern audience. Mm-hmm. Like you can tell, like I'm sure Konami has the binoculars like with the sponge on you, like write that down. Like I'm sure
we can hope. We can hope.
No, you're right.
We can hope. We can only hope.
There is also that arrogance that people have, like we're Konami, we're Sega, like you know. But I think this is a good way of like keeping your ear to what people are actually asking for and figuring out ways to make it happen. So yeah, I literally have nothing bad to say other than my money will be spent. You know, so it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
It is.
But to move the topic along, we had quite the eyebrow-raising announcement at Gamescom. Our favorite spokesperson for Xbox, Big Phil Spencer, you know, came out with some statements during Gamescom about the announcement of their previously console-exclusive Indiana Jones game going multi-platform in 2025. Now, before we start, let's hear what Big Philly had to say, and we'll kind of go into what this means for this multi-platform console going forward.
Going to the PlayStation announcement, obviously last spring, we launched 4 games, 2 of them on the Switch, 4 of them on PlayStation, and we said we're going to learn. We said we'd watch, and I think at Showcase, I might have said from our learning, we're going to do more. Mm-hmm. What I see when I look is our franchises are getting stronger. Our Xbox console players are as high this year as they've ever been.
Amazing.
So I look at it and I say, okay, our player numbers are going up for the console platform. Our franchises are as strong as they've ever been. And we run a business. Like, it's definitely true inside of Microsoft. The bar is high for us in terms of the delivery that we have to give back to the company, because we get a level of support from the company that's just amazing in what we're able to go do. So I look at this, how can we make our games as strong as possible? Our platform continues to grow, both on console, on PC, and on cloud. And I think it's just going to be a strategy that works for us. And the last thing I'll probably say is I think as an industry right now, there's a lot of pressure on the industry. It's been growing for a long time, and now people are looking for ways to grow. And I think that us as fans, as players of games, we just have to anticipate there's going to be more change in how some of the traditional ways that games were built and distributed. That's going to change. Right? That's going to change for all of us. But the end result has to be better games that more people can play. If we're not focused on that, I think we're focused on the wrong things. So for us as Xbox, health of Xbox, health of our platform, and our growing games, most important things.
Oh, that sounds perfect. Lovely.
Randy.
Now, S-Rank, as I was watching this clip, it made me think about something you said a couple pods ago, where basically you were like, you know, the goal that Xbox has for itself and the goal that Microsoft has for Xbox don't necessarily intertwine in the best of ways. And a lot of it leads back to Microsoft tapping Xbox and sort of like, hey, where's my money? I need my money, right? And I know I've joked on Phil Spencer in the past, and I will probably continue to joke on him in the future, but I do think he's a very competent person in his position, right? I'm not going to sit there and say that he's not a smart guy. He is, right? Obviously, he's had the wherewithal and the vision to kind of get Xbox as far as it did after, you know, the debacle it had, you know, a couple of previous generation cycles ago. And I know, like, at the end of the day, like you said, we're a business, and a business has to turn profit. So from a financial aspect, from a business aspect, from a corporate aspect, I understand why these moves make sense on paper as far as how do we put our games into the hands of more players to turn a profit for our business. What I keep scratching my head on, and I don't fully understand, and I bring it to y'all, my established podcast brothers, is how does this help Xbox? How does this help Xbox? How does this help Xbox, the system, the company, the brand? How does this help
the ecosystem?
Yes, the ecosystem. How does this help Xbox progress and elevate?
Can you tag me in?
Go ahead.
Can you tag me in? Thank
Go
you.
ahead.
Okay. So I was thinking, I'll talk about a number of points. My first point is, you can clearly, now I understand why the message is never clear. It's not because of Xbox, it's because of Xbox and Microsoft. They're saying two different things. The message is never clear. Phil said Indiana Jones is not coming to other platforms. He said that himself. It's not going to PlayStation. Now it's going to PlayStation. Do I call Phil Spencer a liar? At the time, he was telling the truth. But again, I need my money, right? I need my money, right? So now, after that, I started to notice another thing. You say, what would be the point of Game Pass if there's no consoles? Because Phil Spencer stressed console sales. He's stressing console sales. Telling us, hey, he says console several times. Guys, listen. Consoles. We're still going to make an Xbox, whatever next one we make. But I'm at the same time, I'm like, that's not what you're saying, though. That's not what, the message isn't clear. Say, because of Activision Blizzard, certain games that were already in development and initially we're going to go to the PlayStation, it doesn't make any sense for us to cut off that channel.
Right. We're
going to allow it to go through and move on from there. Okay, it makes sense. Because I'm like, man, you buy this property. Some of the games that were already multi-platform, it's okay to let it go multi-platform. It's okay for Starfield to be multi-platform. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. But if Gears of War, Halo, my thing is, what's the point of Game Pass? You think people are going to pay for a Nintendo shop, PlayStation shop, and say, hey, let me get this totally different subscription and get me some Xbox games on my PlayStation 5? And not only that, this library, if I have a PC and a PlayStation, what am I doing?
I'm good to go.
I'm good to go. I don't need an Xbox. What's the point of having an Xbox if the ecosystem, the software that you're literally making your Xbox for, which is Game Pass, now no longer is needed? What's your point? Because you're not going to be a successful Epic Game Store. No. You guys struggle making your own IPs. You guys aren't the hip. You guys have hip people working for you, but you guys are not. Satya Nadella is not going to help take the charge and lead us into creativity. Microsoft does not show us that they can do that. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. They're not a hip. They're not a hip company. Not when it comes to games. Like, and not when it comes to games. Yeah. Not even. Like Samsung is a completely different thing, and you think of Samsung and Apple before Microsoft tablet. Yeah, it's just there. Hey, you want this standard state of the art blue dye soap? It's right there for you. Versus, that's
a fair argument. I remember when the Microsoft Surface was becoming a thing. Like, I honestly didn't know it existed. To your point, and it's an amazing piece of hardware, but I did not know. I wasn't like, oh, I didn't know I could turn my desktop into a laptop into a tablet. For a flat price that's still cheaper than a Mac because there was no advertising. But that's a Microsoft thing, not an Xbox thing. But go ahead. And even with that, like, there's nothing that they're showing me that our franchises are stronger than ever. Well, you just got them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and another thing is Microsoft. You guys are a business. How soon do you want them to pay you back? You guys are acting like Mafia right now. They are part of you. Why don't you just wait it out? Are you going to build a rocket ship next week? Are you planning to build a rocket ship? It doesn't, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense because the parent company probably just doesn't value. Oh, okay, we'll let you teens play around. You know what? Well, I mean, you could also make an argument that maybe they're just not seeing the return that they're looking for, right? It's like, if I'm looking at this from the business aspect, right? You just convinced me not so many months ago to allow you to spend billions, not millions, billions acquiring this company because you're telling me, hey, the long-term investment is going to pan out for us financially. But when I'm looking at my fiscal reports, I'm looking at my quarterly reports, we're still behind Sony. We're still behind Nintendo.
So now
billions.
Yeah, you're right. And here's the thing, right? Here's another thing that they need to understand. What was the point of letting Tango Games go if you were going to go third party anyway? You see why the messages, the mission statement, the messages don't make sense? You see my problem? I'm like, if you guys are going to go third party, why'd you get rid of Tango Games?
Announce a merger, announce, hey, we're, with our blessing, we're allowing Tango Games to be but they'll still make, Hi-Fi Rush 2 and it'll be a timed Xbox exclusive.
And at this point, I don't have the patience anymore to wait for Final Fantasy 16 to come on Xbox. Wukong is coming out on Xbox. You know what I got it on?
PS5.
PS5.
Yeah.
I don't have to wait.
Yeah.
I don't need to wait. If y'all don't know what y'all doing with this platform, let me hurry up and build my Metropolis PC. Yeah. Get my little Cybertronian cooling fans, dog, with the cyberpunk LED lights, two-sided desk, and call it a day, man.
Yeah.
And call it, and I don't have to make an investment for another 10 years.
And the thing that's weird
every 5 if I want.
To your point is like, they keep talking about the Xbox games being time exclusives going out to the other platforms. What about these other platforms and games coming to Xbox, right? You spoke about Final Fantasy 16. I'm like, bro, y'all still didn't get Final Fantasy 7 Remake.
We don't even have Genshin Impact.
I don't. There's
we got it now. We got it now. But people, they were taking like, Xbox. Y'all say y'all want to make bread. There's other games that y'all could already have placed on the X. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's no. It's literally we're watching discourse. This is prime evidence. An unclear message. Discourse. There's discourse in the office because one person, Satya Nadella's tweeting this thing. People are going back to Microsoft. Phil Spencer, Phil, Satya Nadella's just, oh no, don't worry about it. And Satya Nadella, no, that's exactly what I said. And it's just not looking good. You still have a lot of unanswered questions. Mm-hmm. Okay, why in that statement say Xbox? Okay, you're obviously still focus for me, Microsoft. You've already created a tree. You proved your point that Game Pass is possible, right? Now, what you need to do, right? You already have your deal with Amazon. Now, Game Pass is gonna come with Amazon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And new Amazon television. So, is it either it's because they want to see their investments within a certain period of time? But my thing is, these companies, they technically don't have to get their money that fast. They can wait. These guys can wait. But again, that's a separate story. If the vision isn't clear, sometimes it just won't be followed. And that's my whole thing with this Microsoft thing. It's like, okay, Game Pass is gonna drastically suffer if you go third party.
I mean, it depends. Because
think about it.
It depends on what they incorporate. Depends on what they incorporate.
What can you incorporate? What are you gonna incorporate that make low price, but the price of game you have? Listen, the price of one game is already $70, right? So you're gonna pay more money to have to have more people purchase Game Pass. Now I have $50 worth of games. What of 100 games for $50? Okay, but nobody's getting Game Pass because it's going to PC now. I might as well just get Steam. Steam is a superior marketplace. And if those games go to Steam day one, what is the point of your Xbox? A lot of people have their Xboxes because my library's still there, right?
Right.
Apple has my library of all the music that I have from high school. Mm-hmm. I can go back and get an updated album cover for my Nelly album that I had on my iPod with the digitized iPod, but it was a legit purchase. You understand? Not even with Xbox being on PC, it's not like all my Xbox games are going to translate within a stitch. No, it's going to be probably 5 or 3 of everything that I own. And you think that's cool? None of my save transfer? You think I want to waste all that time playing? It's not wasting time, but I don't have the time anymore to go back in that library, get the achievements again. No.
I mean, it does feel that maybe Xbox is trying to go for that Apple feel in the gaming market, where they're looking for synchronicity across platforms, right? Where it's like when the inevitable mobile Xbox on the go system drops, right? That you'll be able to seamlessly play from your system at home to your system on the go to a PC at your sister's house, right? And it'll all be through Xbox. Like, I think that's the ultimate goal.
I think that should be the focus. Not because now if you go third party, you also lose the current Xbox fans you have because you went third party.
Yeah.
You saw how that went, right? You saw how that went. Well, if you don't want to play in an Xbox One, just play your 360.
Yep.
Peace. That same energy. Peace. You're going to have nobody on the platform. People, oh man, millions of people have already quitted their Game Pass and they're going to go on Steam. Yeah. I'm going to sell my library to a third world country person and they'll pay a lump sum. My account, people sells their accounts on eBay, right?
Yeah.
So I'll sell my account, do the total, get my money, start over again.
Yeah.
And just make it a piece. Oh, by the way, most of the games are only going to cost $700 because those games are 99 cents now.
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto's technically free.
There'll be a on PC. Yeah, there'll be some incentive that allows you to get the game at a more affordable cost.
Way more affordable cost. And guess what? My buddy can give it to me if he wanted to on a CD-ROM. Then what?
Yeah. Plus, you're able to tap into the modding community and all types of dope things that entice gamers. Tim, you got any thoughts on none?
I was casually waiting for you guys to pass on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's I said, I don't think Phil Spencer's a dumb guy. I think he's smart. I think obviously you could tell that he was picking his words very carefully.
Very carefully, because he's if he says third party,
dunzo, right? And it's like I think he's aware of like I know how this is coming across to the loyal Xbox fan base, right? I'm sure he reads the tweets like anybody else. I'm sure he's sitting there like they're still wondering where their Marvel vs. Capcom port is. They still don't have a release date for Marvel Black Myth Wukong on Xbox. and the one exclusive that we do have is coming to PlayStation. You know, like it's just like, well, if again, and
they're gonna get a perfect version.
Yeah, and then the thing is, like, even in the spirit of like healthy console wars, like I also am aware that Xbox players, they're not dumb. You know what I'm saying? They're not someone who's going to be like, we're blind loyalists. We're going to stay on board no matter what.
They've advanced throughout. They've advanced. The echo chambers made them think, you know what? That doesn't make any sense. You got Homer Simpson now about to apply to college. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to be duped again.
Yeah.
Hey, he passing his courses. Yeah. So now, you know what I'm saying?
And it doesn't help that, yeah, sure, but PlayStation might be struggling this year, but it doesn't help that these other companies are like, hey, it's a lot more fun on this side. Come join us.
And I'll say one more thing. You do go third party. It's just going to last 2 years. All that for 2 years of success. I'm telling you. Because it's just going to be on a hype. You're going to get more subscribers. Then people are going to be like, wait, but Steam.
Yeah.
But.
Especially when Steam has become a little bit more affordable.
But okay, so if the Xbox games are going to be on the PlayStation, so are the PlayStation games going to Xbox?
Never in your life.
No.
Never.
No.
Sony would rather watch their game crash or fail before they make an Xbox game.
They rather sell Sony Interactive to Korea. Kim Jong and yeah, before they give it to you. Are you crazy? This is a competition.
They'll let remake sell one copy before they let it go multi-platform.
And the reason why I'm also torn is because you think Sony's not going to charge you guys $100 plus for internet to play. Oh, they will. There's no. Oh.
Listen, I've spoken about this. There's no misconception here. I've had
they're not
from a PlayStation 1 when my memory card was $24 the entire time. No matter how old the PlayStation got, I know what I signed up for as a Sony fan. You know, so it is what it is. You know, you deal with the pros and cons when it comes to the company you support. But I you know, we do have to move on. But I do feel like I just don't understand how this in any way, form, or fashion inspires brand loyalty in Xbox in 2024.
It's killing it. It's killing the miss, and it's killing it in so many ways because now the message is not clear. It's like that poison meter. When you get poisoned in the video game and your life bar is just dwindling, you may not die from a powerful attack, but because you don't have any life boost anymore, no potions, unless you kill that boss, good luck.
Boy, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll be here to report on it. So
if you guys see, if we start a pod and all you see is a tombstone, and
we gotta.
I left. I'm done with the
Photoshop. S-Rank's face on like one of those like when a recruit joins a team and he gets drafted and he just takes off the Xbox hat and puts on the PC hat. It's like, guys. I've switched. I've converted.
Oh, just do it like the Miami draft, like LeBron James.
Yeah.
Coming to Miami, just do it like that.
Oh man. Well, and other news, and more surprising news of things that we weren't expecting. There was a surprise announcement at Gamescom that I didn't expect, and I don't think that any of us expected it either, because it seems like one of those like quiet as kept franchises where the respect is there. You see the name and you're kind of like, okay, I'm not mad at this. But you also kind of wonder like, is this franchise in a place right now where it's moving enough units to warrant this? And then, of course, I'm talking about Mafia. Now, Mafia recently got a new game announcement, Mafia: The Old Country. I'm going to play the trailer real quick, and we'll get some thoughts on what do you guys think about Mafia 4 essentially coming out sometime in 2025.
This thing of ours, it's a brotherhood. Treachery and deceit do not exist among us. Do you wish to commit yourself this family?
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. I've been a long time Mafia fan. I started out with Mafia 2, and to this day, that's still one of the best games I've ever played in terms of an immersed world. 3 was good. I'll give it that. 3 was really, really good. I liked the scenery of where we were, like a fictional New Orleans type of feel. But yes, the repetitiveness of the missions and some of the, I would say, game breaking glitches did hurt a vibe for some people. Like, you had to wait till a certain period, like where it was like 10 patches later for you to really
Sheesh.
enjoy it. But I didn't feel like it destroyed the franchise. So, and then afterwards, when they released the Mafia collection and they redid 1, like they did a whole like remake, remaster touch with updated graphics, things of that nature. I already knew something else was coming. And the current thing with Mafia is all of them are connected and is connected through the Italians. So to see, like, I guess this is probably the war period in Italy, what caused all the Italian families to migrate to America. I guess this is probably the story about what happened to see it actually out. And to be
Is it
honest,
Mussolini era?
huh?
Is that the Mussolini era?
Well, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know,
Oh,
bro.
okay.
Yeah, when you say names, yeah, I got to do my research first.
Fair enough.
But it'll be very interesting to see because one thing about mafia titles, I've always or like organized crime, I've always wanted to see like other places, and I felt like the game Sleeping Dogs. I felt like that gave me like a very good like okay, this is like crime and like what it was Tokyo, correct?
Yeah.
Korea.
Yeah, Tokyo.
Tokyo.
Korea.
Like yeah,
In Korea.
No, it wasn't Japanese. It was Korea. Or it's China. China. Hong Kong. Hong Kong.
Okay.
yeah.
It was Hong Kong. It wasn't
In the
Japan.
east,
No.
in the east,
Okay.
in the east.
Yeah.
So like I've always wanted like a flavor, and this is where I've always felt like what Grand Theft Auto needs to start doing, bro. Like start to expand to other places. But then so I'm really looking forward to this interesting time of Italy to really experience, especially the weapons. Like what type of weapons are we going to use? What is the economic state of the countryside going to look like? Like you're on a hillside with these lush villas and the city life. What is that going to be really like? Because one thing about Mafia, they do a lot of research, bro. A
Yeah.
lot of research into the designs of the world.
One thing I got to give that franchise, Tim, we've spoken about this multiple times, even leading before this, over the years. Like I got to salute them for their world building, right? Like I think when it comes to like if you want a game that has like every single NPC has a purpose and a backstory, look no further than a Mafia game, right? So I've always had a lot of high respect for how they handle their story and their characters and things like that. The thing that my concern is, and will always kind of lead back to, is the gameplay. Like you mentioned earlier, Mafia 3, it was a little repetitive. I played it,
Missions were repetitive.
but that's
Now, in terms of gameplay,
the
like
lifeblood of the story.
no, but then the thing about it is you haven't played Mafia 1 the remake. And that's what gives me faith about where they're trying to move forward. Now, yes, like because I believe the third game was made by like it was technically like I think it was like a new studio type of feel or something like that. Or I got to really look back, but you could definitely tell the differences in the gameplay from 2 to 3. You could just tell the difference. So, but I think they've learned a lesson from that because they know they can't repeat that type of stuff. So technically, since Mafia 1, the remake is technically after 3 in terms of release, I do have faith in where the series can go.
Got you. Like they're gonna build on the mechanics that they introduced in the Mafia 1 remake.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I would love to be pleasantly surprised, right? Like I think for me, like I'm always down, at least from a interest aspect, personally, for like a third person shooter. That's good. So like to me, it's like if the gameplay looks fun, if the combat looks snappy, if the gun control feels right, like I'm down to cop it. I just I think in terms of like the way this console cycle has played out, it's just like, is this going to be yet another open world S game plagued by bugs upon release? Right? It's like I don't
Yeah.
think right? You know, like I don't think we've had like a really big budget game that's been like bug free
I
out
mean,
launch.
but to be honest, bro, I kind of feel like to even like expect something that does not is kind of like very far fetched. Because when you really look at it, is the defined game breaking bugs is the people who play it. That's the ultimate trial period is when you put it in the hands of people. Because remember, everybody's play style is different. Because
Of
I remember
course.
the first time, the first game breaking bug I came in with a Sonic game. Like I was doing the boost mechanic and Eggman did a shift and I pressed it at the same time and I literally sped past him. So I broke the game because I sped past the boss.
Mm.
And I was like, wait, did I just do that on purpose? Like, but then it's the simple thing is like, that's what happens in these games. Like, there are certain people, they just do things at random moments that exposes different cracks in the system.
Yeah.
So it comes apart with it now. The longevity of these bugs, that's the problem.
True.
That is the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah. I think the biggest make or break nowadays is like if I'm not able to beat this game because there's so many bugs, then we have a problem here. Like you're right. I
Yes.
think bugs is to be expected. You know, I just saw the other day they released like a Spider-Man 2 patch, right? Of just like small things like clipping here and doing this and doing like the bugs are to be expected, but it's like if it's like I literally cannot finish this game, cannot finish this mission, cannot do these things. Basically, if you get Cyberpunk 2077, it's like I'm not this is you should have pushed this back. You should have waited. Right? Like I think that's the energy that I feel like as for me as a modern gamer, like I'm open for a game needing a patch or two, right? But like if it's one of those things where like I literally cannot complete this, then that means you probably shouldn't have released it. You know, like there's something there was something that the wires got crossed somewhere, and it wasn't ready. So
Yeah. So yeah, we can move on from that.
all right. But speaking of games that were released and that had a couple bugs upon release, Black Myth Wukong, fellas, it's real. The One Piece is real. It's out. You can buy it. You can play it. You can download it. The game that at least I thought was never going to see the light of day on a release was actually released, and it's been getting great reviews. It's selling like hotcakes, right? The whole games aren't selling this year, right? Every now and then, hey, if a game is good, shock and surprise, people go to
People
go buy
buy.
it. It's crazy. It's a crazy concept sometimes. You know, when you market something with good gameplay, people actually go support it. So Black Myth Wukong has sold, I think, over 10 million units in just a week. And given the where we're at from what you guys have seen and from the gameplay and game impressions, what do you guys think?
It's going to be game of the year nominated. It is.
That's
Okay.
fine.
I see it because of the build up, the hype, the anticipation. And honestly, the fact that I woke up that day and I saw tons of, oh, let's play all the boss fights. I was like, bro, this is 6 hours of boss fights. And did I watch it? Yes, I did.
Salute.
I was like, no, but then to be honest, man, I've never had such a deep dive into Chinese mythology like that. It's like, bro, what are these characters, these names, these titles? Oh, this boss is the Red Shaolin of the Eastern Wind. I was like, bro, who are these people?
Mm.
And you know, of course, I love the Wukong story, the story of the Monkey King, and of course, you know, he got the little power pole.
Yeah, flies on
Go,
Nimbus.
bro,
Like, come on now.
The Goku
Yeah.
mods did not waste time, bro. And it's just, I
It is
love it. I
Goku.
love it for what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not really a fan of Souls-like games because they just frustrate me
It
so
does. It
much.
doesn't play like one.
I don't think it does either.
It
It's
doesn't
To an
definitely
play like
extent,
Souls
one.
inspired.
no,
It's
it's a
definitely
hype.
Souls
It's a
For
inspired.
hype.
me. So when people say Souls like, it's like they have the inability to distinguish deep combat because that's just it. Oh, it's Souls like because there's a shield, a lock on system, which predates. If anything, you would say Souls like is more like Zelda, likened to Zelda, if you want to go that far.
Yeah, I think reviewers do the game a disservice calling it Souls like.
Yeah, they don't. You know, that's just a poor vocabulary. Like it just shows me, okay, this person doesn't really play games a lot. You know what I'm saying? For them to say Souls like continuous,
Right.
like
It's
oh,
hard,
is
so
it
it's
Souls like?
like what?
No, that's not what that means. You know, if I play, yeah, because we
But
came
it's
up in a time to where that word was not even used. Like, no, Dark Souls is Dark Souls. Even though there's 1,000 clones, you don't call Digimon Pokemon.
Right.
You don't. You know, they're inspired.
Inspired.
Do they play the same?
Inspired. Right.
Nope.
Because
the lore the same?
Yeah.
Nope.
And to your point, S rank is like by that metric, like we would consider Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance a Souls-like, right? Because it's hard, right? The parry system is not something you pick up and play. It's tricky. It's quote unquote. It's difficult.
Yeah, we had games Tenchu Z. Would we ever consider? Would you try to move in Tenchu 3 like you were in Devil May Cry? Good luck. You failed the mission.
Devil May Cry.
Would you try? Would you try to move like you're moving in Shinobi and Devil May Cry? No, you can't. You know what I'm saying? Ryu Hayabusa does not move like Dante. Try to play it like you're playing a Devil May Cry. Good luck.
Yeah,
you're not gonna get past the first stage.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So it was like we had that level of variety growing up, and so I never understood how like these game journalists would just say it's Souls like. I'm like, what do you mean? Like you've played all the varieties.
I would say the element is like, and this is something you brought up a while back, Jory. You said Souls like games could be the world. Like in the grittiness of the world, like for example, Phantom Blade Zero. That's a very Souls-like type of game where like the world is very just gritty. There's a lack of color. When I said what this was, it's because of the way how it's structured from when you go from play, and it's just like, bro, like everything is just another boss. It's like, bro,
but that's just classic video games, man. You know what I'm saying? They just.
I feel like
now that you see another intertwined, I'm like, yo, y'all didn't play Resident Evil?
I think
Resident Evil not intertwined?
I think it's simpler than that. I think any game now that doesn't have a difficulty setting is a Souls-like, right? I think that's really what it is. Because because technically in Black Myth Wukong, you can't be like, okay, this is too hard. I'm gonna put it on easy mode. Easy mode doesn't exist. It's just like get good. And I think that's like, it's like, oh, so it's a Souls-like because I can't, like I got a Dark Souls this. It's like that's not like you said, it's not a foreign concept of like, no, this boss is just hard.
Like, you can't.
It's just hard. I don't know what to say.
You weren't able to jump in a Souls-like game. Verticality is out the window. That, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, he jumps. That's it.
He can jump. So now that changes the dynamic of a soul. That one gesture changes everything. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I could jump on command, which has a lot in common with what?
But guess what? He doesn't jump like a monkey.
Ninja Gaiden.
No, he does not.
Oh, he will in part 2. That's just budget. Don't worry. That's just the budget.
I mean,
choice.
if it gets a part 2,
Tim is getting a part 2. 10 million in 4 days.
I mean, bro. I mean, I saw that. I mean, if you saw the
made by 30 people, which is fine. Yeah, it made by 30 people.
And plus, let's not overstate the fact like this is like their first big console game. They haven't done this. This is like brand new studio, brand new IP. They're just getting their footing.
Yeah. That Crimson Desert game is, people are actually touching that game and saying, "Now that's an action game." You know, but Black Myth Wukong, playing it, it doesn't. I never was going to consider it a Souls-like game just because you tread back and forth, right and left. If that was the case, the first Souls-like game was that Prince of Persia game where you only fight bosses for the 360. You had that girl companion.
The 2008 one where you couldn't die.
Yeah, which was I liked it. I didn't beat it. I need to beat it, but it was fire. It was different.
The world was very colorful. I love the colorfulness of that world.
Yeah. So the Phantom Blade Zero, to me, it's Ninja Gaiden. It's a successor to Ninja Gaiden. Yeah, it's a successor to Ninja Gaiden.
I think we should wait for a little bit more gameplay for that to come out before we really start deep diving into it. Like I said in the group chat, I'm becoming increasingly unimpressed the more gameplay comes out. Personally, I just don't see enough like
flair that it had in the trailer.
Yes, it's missing that razzle dazzle.
I think it's due to them probably playing on a more aggressive setting.
Maybe.
And so usually when you play stuff at a medium or normal, that's what you get. Devil May Cry is boring at normal visually, in my opinion. But when you play it on hard, super, Dante Must Die.
But I don't think that's entirely true, because even for the way you guys have torn apart Devil May Cry 5, we're not going to stay here. But like when I see Dante taking apart a motorcycle and beating somebody over the head with it, I'm like, this is interesting to me. I don't care what level it's on. You know, like, I find this.
Oh, that's great. That's great video game design.
Yeah, when I see Virgil slash someone 85 times without taking 2 steps, I'm like, this is I am visually engaged.
All right, okay, I guess we could.
Yeah,
jump.
we could stay on the training menu for all I care when it's looking like this.
Wow.
You know, but I guess my last question in passing is, hey, when are y'all copping? When are y'all planning to get Black Myth Wukong?
Not anytime soon.
I got it.
You got it already?
I got it already. Okay. I got it when we was talking.
Oh yeah,
when we was talking about it. Yeah, when it dropped, I just said, "Let me see the price. $50. Zip."
Salute. No, I'm with you, bro. Like I've been going back and forth. I'm like, oh man, I really do want to play it. I think there's maybe like 2 or 3 patches I would like to hear about first before I like go cop.
Yeah, it runs fine.
No, I'm not even talking about performance issues. There's been a couple of things that I've seen on Reddit of like, there's a couple of bosses where it's like, it's not even them being hard. It's just glitch. It's a glitch. You literally cannot hit them because of a glitch. It's like,
got you.
Yeah, that would make me never play this game again. So let me just chill.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm still going through Final Fantasy. Yeah, if it being Game of the Year, good luck, because Final Fantasy is actually a piece of work. So, I don't think for anybody that's played it, you know, if it doesn't win, it's just going to be a tragic story. But that game's a piece of work, man. You know, after playing 1 and playing a little bit of Rebirth, I can already see the trajectory. That has to be Game of the Year, in my opinion. You know, it's either Street Fighter or Tekken, but you know, one of those guys. Anything, I don't think Wukong should be there. It could be there for a nominee, but I don't think it should win.
No. I don't think it's gonna win either. But again, salute to them on first. You know, again, first big game out the gate, right? That's all you can hope for. Like, I hope for a success story. It has so much hype going into it. You know, the average rating.
It's a new mythology.
It's an 8 out of 10.
I know. I'm familiar with the world. Yeah, I'm familiar with the world. So it's like, okay, this is cool. It's just now people get to experience it and understand that it's actually more wild than Egyptian mythology and Chinese mythology and Japanese mythology.
Japanese is a little crazy too.
These guys are right there. I know, because I won't even begin to tell you the feud between Buddha and Wukong.
Yeah, it makes all the other ones look tame by comparison. Everyone's like, you keep going back to Greek and Norse. It's like, no, this is the kindergarten over here.
That kindergarten.
The type of time Wukong was on, boy.
Yo, you think Kratos? You let Zeus? You let your own son do that to you?
Right.
Son Wukong would never. Boy, it's different.
Yeah.
It's different. Y'all gonna be looking at Greek dragons and Chinese dragons in a whole new light.
Yeah. Looking like Mushu in comparison. Like, but moving on to a game that's a little bit different, admittedly a little bit different, coming for a console that I don't own. I don't think you guys own, and I don't think we're gonna be copying a console for this particular game. But Batman Arkham Shadow actually got a gameplay trailer. I brought it up because seeing it at Gamescom, I'm like, this actually doesn't look bad. You know, like, we think of VR, we think of these games, I'm like, it looks, you just think trash out the gate. And I was like, I kind of like how this looks.
I don't think a lot of the VR games are bad. I just think
I don't want to buy an attachment for it.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. That's just simply what it is, bro. Yeah. It's just, I've been through the PlayStation Move gimmick. I've been through those, like, it's cool for the time being, but you are going to go back to the traditional ways of things, man, because first of all, you get vertigo after a while with all that stuff with your eyes, man.
Yeah, the motion sickness.
Yeah, it's like, it's cool for what it is, but it's like, yeah, bro, and I get it. They're trying to revive something with the Arkham series, but it's a little bit too late, bro. That Ratcatcher could have been in Arkham. What's the last one? Arkham Knight. Mm-hmm. He could have been in there.
Could have been, yeah, for real. Could have been a Robin villain DLC. Him and Zaz.
This rat cult spreads through Gotham like a plague. I have to stop it, even if it consumes me.
I'm gonna lie, the fact that you're not Kevin Conroy.
A corrupt system.
I mean, he's dead, bro. Like,
are you not angry? Fight back.
It's the freaking bat! We aren't afraid of you! The bat dies tonight!
him, this Rat King could be anywhere. A face in the crowd, a foot soldier in his own fanatical mob. So how in the hell do we find him?
Targets are all city employees, civil servants, public officials.
You could have been
Yeah, this could have been an Arkham Knight, bro.
You could have been a god.
Well, I mean, technically, it's an Arkham Origins sequel. Technically.
But like I said, bro, it's a little bit too late.
Alfred, we tried it your way. Now we do it mine.
Something big's going down tonight.
Okay, yeah, it's good gameplay, but I just feel like it's a bit too late.
Yeah. Like, to me, one of the things that was impressive, like, you got counter mechanics, you're using the grappling gun, they're gliding. It's like, that's a lot. Yeah, like, it's immersive, you know? The shot gloves are back. Cheat code 1, cheat code 2.
I can bring the Rat King to you.
Aren't you the Rat King?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm good. We can move on to the next topic. Yeah, because we're already at 56.
No, you're right. It's just when I see things like that, it's like, to you guys' point, I'm just like, I think it's like, man, for me as a gamer, right? Like, we obviously, like, we're 90s babies. So this is like, I'll just say this real quick before you move on. It's like, we've seen VR be approached time and time again. And to your point, Tim, it's like, when you see something like the Xbox Connect or the PlayStation Move or even like the Wii U, it's like, this is a gimmick. It's not as interactive as you guys are making it out to be. Like, this is trash. This is pointless. And now we're kind of reaching a point where, like, yes, maybe graphically, VR is not where it needs to be quite yet. In terms of what we thought would be impossible, we're seeing it. Like, you're seeing a what looks like a functioning Batman game. And as I'm watching, I'm like, no one's gonna buy this. No one cares. No one's getting a MetaQuest 3 to get Batman. You know, like, it's just, that's the thing. Like, I just can't wrap my mind around. Like, we literally have the technology. Like, we could rebuild him, right? The technology's right here, and everyone's like,
nope. Yeah, I mean, my thing with the visuals with like the virtual, with the not 3D, but like the visors, man. The VR, yeah, the visors, VR is just, everything feels like I can see through it. They're like, they don't have any weight. Like, the fighters are paper mache. I can just squeeze this cardboard box villain, and you know, like, see nothing but paper and cardboard inside his head.
No, that's a fair critique. That's a fair critique.
Know,
it's just, it's like, it's not quite there, but I'm like, but look, you know, like, you don't feel like it's at a place where you're like, I could see myself playing this.
Man, if it's not Ready Player One, it's not ready.
But you can't get to Ready Player One without the support. And the market has to be there.
Yeah, but guess what?
So when they're like, here comes the VR treadmill, the 360 gravity room.
You're getting closer. You get closer. I'm just saying.
That's
you
right.
get closer.
Like, yeah. Soon,
right? You that'll be the new arcades, VR arcades, where people can actually sit down. Hey, you pay $56, and you guys can go on whatever VR you want. And people, woo! Because, hey, listen, I still play the Alien games at the movie theaters. Them little arcade Alien game, Time Crisis 1 and 2. You think if I don't, I'm still playing Jurassic Park with the non-updated graphics. It's still fun. Time Crisis is still fun.
Yeah,
Ghost Squadron is still fun.
Yeah, that's where I kind of feel like games like that have more of a place, because like more of like a sit down interactive type of realm. Because like when I buy games, especially for like my home setting, I think of longevity. This is not something that I would want to like invest in, because it's just like, but where is the real future with it, in a sense?
True.
And and to be honest, it's just how I really feel, bro. Like, especially somebody who started with the Arkham series from the first game to the second, third, and you know, the prequel and all that other stuff. Is just, I kind of felt like this is a little bit too late. Like, the Ratchetcatcher is a decent character, He was actually hinted in one of the like when you do them little quests around the world and they have like bios about old characters. He's been mentioned before, but it's just like, okay, so now the Arkham series is technically done, and you want to do another prequel?
Right.
It's
That's a fair
kind of
point.
like, bro, it's a little bit too late for me.
Yeah.
As an investor, like, and I say investor is because it's my money. I'm investing into this product. It's a little bit too late for me. That's how I feel.
No, that's fair. That's fair. And I think you're right. It doesn't help either that the Arkham series right now is at the lowest point it's ever been, right? Suicide Squad tanking, Gotham Knights not being received well. It's like the Batman video game IP still strong, right? I still think if a fire Batman game was announced tomorrow, people would be interested. But I do think, like you said, the return on investment right now doesn't seem as appealing as it once did. Of like, another Batman game, sign me up. You're kind of like,
to be honest with you, I think the stain of the Suicide Squad is still fresh in people's mouth.
Yeah,
Did you see what's been happening on Twitter about the Snyderverse? Out of nowhere, Twitter feed, man, this movie was actually amazing.
Revisionist history on the internet is one of the worst things to happen to this generation.
Oh,
you're lying to yourselves in real time.
The Snyder Cut, man, the Snyder Cut was fire.
You're lying to
and
yourselves.
I'm just
in real
like,
time.
I'm like,
yeah. If I had 4 hours to tell a movie, it'd be one of the best movies you ever saw too. Right? Like, what are we talking about? If I got to explore every single character the way they should have been for a 7-character roster, then yes, the movie would be a lot better. Rather than a barely introduced Batman, a barely introduced Superman, if we're being honest, and 4 into possible. So it's just like, come on, that's one of those things where I'm just like, I hate that. I hate it. I don't want to go on a tangent on it, but I hate when it's like, man, Amazing Spider-Man 2 wasn't that bad. Yes, it was.
No. Yes, Snyder Cut is different. For for me. But Amazing Spider-Man 2,
right? Let's not confuse Andrew Garfield's acting with the movie.
with a good story.
Yeah.
Did you see Rhino? And did you see the new Rhino now?
We wonder why they had to retcon Electro, because it didn't work. It made no sense. But moving on to another game that got a little bit more shine during Gamescom. They teased a couple clips beforehand, then released an additional trailer, kind of going into depth about it, about all the new things that are coming with this DLC. I complained to Tim in the group chat about how this is unfair because the title character in this game is not getting as much love as a DLC character, and it's just not right.
He doesn't need a thing.
He does.
No, because... bro, he just got a whole game where he could do whirlwinds, lightning attacks.
I know who this character is. Disappear. Playtime is over.
We meet again, Shadow the Hedgehog.
I ain't gonna lie, this reminds me of Zelda.
Of Zelda?
Yeah. Zelda. Yeah, you'll see. Yep.
Man, showing Key Blast.
That man spoke to Ganondorf. Man.
Right, this man hit the Vegeta.
That's like Breath of the Wild Ganondorf with the goop and sludge. Is that a liquor? Oh, the music's good.
Right. Now
this looks very fun.
Right. Now Shadow can turn into Prototype.
Hey.
Alex Mercer.
Right.
Oh my goodness. I ain't gonna lie. Let me tell you what part I got hot at. Is this the part where this I'm like, oh, come on, Shadow. But I shouldn't be surprised. Use the same hedgehog with a motorcycle. Yeah, this part right here got me hot. Like, dog, run on the water, dog.
Right.
No, that does make sense, though, because the thing with Shadow and Sonic, they need momentum or else they drown. Now, if you got this and a Metal Sonic shark coming at you, it disrupts your momentum, bro. It does. No. And I'm going to go ham on this.
Okay.
I am very, very proud of this.
Okay. Let's argue.
See, the thing about it is, all right, you got to understand what Sonic Cross Shadow Generations is. It is literally Generations with a Shadow DLC. You can't add on what was already before because that's basically copied and pasted over already. Now the thing about it is Sonic just had a game where they expanded on his gameplay. Like Sonic Frontiers, like bro, this is the first time we've ever seen a Sonic game with a tier list, bro. Do
Okay.
this. You get unlock these skills, you're able to do this now. So yes, they've expanded what Sonic can do. Now, I was like I said, I was very like a bit curious. I was like, why are we going back to generations? But then you know what? It makes sense. It's a good way to reintroduce something on it because not everybody liked the Frontiers gameplay. Not
True.
everybody liked it. So this was a game that was very like well received by people. So it made sense. Now, when you look at the depth of the Shadow DLC, they also have Sonic Frontier stages. There's a Sonic Frontier stage in the game. So I was like, and I like how they made it in a more generations type of style type of thing. So that means to tell me, like, all right, in the future, they might return to Frontiers or they might return to a Frontiers adventure hybrid, which actually might be fire.
We'll definitely get Frontiers too. That's
Yeah.
adventure inspired.
But then it's
It's
the
a matter
simple
of
fact
when.
of the matter is like, all right, this is expanding on Shadow's gameplay. And that's what we gotta focus on, bro. Because the thing about it is, look at the entire marketing, bro. It's been about Shadow because we're not gonna sell you classic Sonic and Dreamcast Sonic again because we've already done that. Classic Sonic, you could only do two things: run, spin dash. Have a good day. The modern Sonic, homing attack, spin dash, get these rings, boost mechanic. Okay, cool. But then, like I always said, it's going to continue into Frontiers. Why do you need to bring Frontiers elements to this Sonic when not all that stuff translates, bro? Because we saw it
Because
happen. Look what happened when and Tails, Amy, and Knuckles. A
Knuckles.
lot of their attacks did not translate because it was just for aesthetics, but it did not really. When you was playing those boss characters, bro, like most of these characters are getting pimp slapped across the street, losing their rings because it didn't. It was not made for them. It was made for Sonic.
Yeah, the
So, and
mechanics didn't
that's
support the game. But
yeah.
I just
No, no.
where my argument is I feel like it's if you're gonna reintroduce Sonic Generations, right, a game from 2011, if you're gonna tell me that this game is $50, right,
Okay, that's a fair point. That's a
right,
fair
and
point.
you're basing this off of you're telling me I got to pay for this 2011 game remaster off the strength of the DLC of another character. No,
You
I
know,
would want again, like I told, I'm not saying he needs more powers. You should have given me at least extra stages, something, some extra stages for Classic Sonic, some extra stages for Modern Sonic, just something. So I'm like, okay, at least I'm getting a fresh experience for the title character of this game. You're basically telling me you might as well call it Shadow Generations if that's the case. If this is what
what's
we're
wrong?
doing,
What's wrong with that?
because you're selling to me for $50.
I
You're selling me
mean,
DLC for $50 is what you're doing. Is what you're doing.
yeah. All right. What they should have done was, okay, if you don't want to like say repurchase it, okay, have the Shadow DLC separate by itself because it looked like the story is actually going to be pretty compact. It looked like it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be because they definitely learned their lesson from Sonic Forces, where the Shadow DLC was like one and a half mission.
Mm. Mm.
This part looked like it's going to be pretty hefty, bro. Like when I saw that metal Overlord, which is the super form of Metal Sonic, it's like, bro, okay, they're about to go ham on this.
Yeah,
So like,
which is fine. Again,
so
I have no complaints about what they're doing with Shadow. Right, like I don't want to be misconstrued of like I
it's the
don't
price
want Shadow.
point.
It's the price point and the fact that again, from the way you guys are marketing this is DLC. This is essentially a loose expansion pack of a game that is about Sonic and the whole premise of Generations was classic Sonic and Sonic worlds colliding. And you're telling me that I need to rebuy this game because unless I own it already, I can't get it anywhere else. And on top of that, I'm paying to have Shadow have all the perks.
But you remember we spoke about this on a few pods ago. You know what Sega's doing? They're treating Shadow like Virgil. Because you
Yeah.
realize Virgil has been a DLC and repurchase every single time.
He has, and we all hate that. So that's what I'm saying.
But we still buy it. But we still buy it. So
Oh no, that's definitely they gonna put it into that. If they drop another Devil May Cry, trust I know for a fact they say, yo, y'all better not sell if Virgil. Hey, you're gonna sell us Virgil again? They're gonna pay for it. Dragon's Dogma is getting thrown through the mud right now, man. These reviews after people got their hands on it. And I ain't even dropped that heat is coming. Dragon's Dogma 2, get ready. I gotta talk to y'all boys. I'm dropping it.
But that's not. But basically, what I'm saying is, I just think it's one of those things where, like, if you're gonna treat it like Virgil, then at the same aspect, then I should expect Sonic to get Dante treatment. And I feel like with his generation remaster, Sonic is not getting Dante treatment. You're porting him. You're porting him and redoing the graphics.
No, but bro, that's how Dante's been treated many times before, bro. It's like, all right, for example, all right,
and they hated it.
No, but then let's look at the last one, the last Devil May Cry. Yes, nothing happened with Dante from Devil May Cry 5 to the PS5 version that came with Virgil. Like, no, they just added Virgil.
Yeah, but Tim, that was within the same console generation. I'm talking about a game from 2011, bro. We're talking about a game that has.
It's still the principle, bro. It's because and it goes back to the consumer. It's our fault because we've proven that it works. Even in terms of like other DLC, we keep just rebuying the same characters over and over. It's because we
buy it because we don't want the game we want the game to come back. I'm saying, so it's not even because of the characters. It's more like, you know what, just so they can give me what I want this time.
That's a fair point too.
Just so they can give me what I want, I'll buy it. Kid, there's games that I bought Wukong because I want them boys to make another game.
Yeah,
you know, sometimes I buy a game because, man, I don't want these people to go for broke. They got a vision, they got a nice concept. Let me buy it. I brought Dragon's Dogma after seeing people play. I said, let me wait. I said, dog, they're not doing. I said, yo, there's no horses in a game where you're telling me to fight a medieval dragon.
Yeah,
I still can't swim.
No, I understand supporting the game, right? Like, I think that's part of the reason why, to your point, Tim, about the consumers, is like, that is a reason why people still bought Virgil this time around, because they have been picketing for Devil. Well, no, but especially this time around, because people have been picketing for Devil May Cry 5 for the longest. So, like, we don't want that reboot. We hated it. Da, 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 da. Give us Devil May Cry 5. And it's like, if you want Devil May Cry 5, you have to pay for Virgil again.
Yeah, and like, hey guys, please support this game. Otherwise, you'll never see this franchise. And that was a Capcom that we were like, man, this Capcom does not care about what their properties. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That was a Capcom that we didn't know. I said, okay, let me buy this demo. Let me play it again. Let me buy it again. Let me buy, because I wanted it to come back.
Right. Let me get the PS5 upgrade and all this stuff. I just think, like, especially, and we don't have to stick on this too long. I just think, like, especially given that Sonic Frontiers wasn't universally loved, right? It's definitely a matter of taste when it came to that game. So you're at a point where, like, you still haven't really dropped like a banger of a Sonic game in some time to kind of like overlook Sonic as a character in Generations, where it's like, hey, is there a way you could, again, given this Frontiers level to Sonic as well, introduce some of the new attacks he's able to do into some of these boost mechanics? Something where it's like Sonic Generations is more universally beloved than Frontiers. So again, your title character, the character from which this franchise was built, to have absolutely nothing, and then to charge me $50, it's like
Dante and Virgil.
I'll wait.
Yeah,
I'll wait.
you can wait. You could wait. I would definitely want you to wait.
I feel like that formula is overdue, man. They're like the last to know. You know, like, oh, we can sell it like a red versus blue and blue. Like, listen, that works with a set franchise.
It works
with a set franchise, man. It'll work with Goku and Vegeta. It'll work with Pokemon. But for Sonic,
it'll work with this, because what will happen is the movie is what will like kick everything into gear.
The animes did fairly well. The movie hype as well.
Sonic Prime?
Yeah. Because we got to remember that Sonic's target audience is Tim's nephew. Like they've
and then also this new game comes with a new anime based on Shadow as well. So like, there's a lot of happening with the Sonic lore, bro. That has just got so much good momentum. Like, yes, Frontiers wasn't everybody's cup of tea, but the other Sonic game that they released near the same time, Sonic Superstars, that did pretty well.
It did, and it did look interesting. I just, like I said, I just think it's easier to accept some of these things when you're coming off the strength of a banger. I'm like, yo, that last
Oh,
Sonic game was,
and that also
you know,
amplifies my point because Sonic Superstars expands more on classic Sonic, and then Frontiers expands more on modern. So, like I said, bro, they've already done those people now. But I do get the price point. I do feel like they should have had an option where, all right, if you just want to buy this separately, you could $20. Have a good day. If you want it as a full collection for the PS5, here is this. Boom. I do feel like that should have been an option, and I will stand on that completely.
Yeah, give me the Shadow DLC as a standalone thing for like $20-$30. I'm cool with that. You can play these stages. It's a tight 20. I know, but it's Sega, right? So I'm like, I can see the 30, even though 20 makes more sense. I'll play these 3 hours of content and move on with my day. I still got Sonic Generations on the PS3. I could go play it. You know, I just think the $50 for a game that's over a decade old, I'm like, asking a little bit much. I don't think the DLC is that expensive to warrant this price tag.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, no, I would love to be wrong. I would love to be wrong. I just, I'm like, when I'm seeing more move sets and things, I'm like, okay, I'm basically paying y'all to get a move set. I'm basically paying y'all for the prototype of Shadow's move set in Frontiers 2. Is what it feels like right now. That's all I can say about that.
Dante and Virgil.
All right, so we'll move on to something else that we can cover real quick, only because there really isn't much to talk about still with this game. We keep seeing trailers every week and new characters, and every time I send the trailer to the group chat, I'm like, I'm just confused. I don't have any more clarification. I don't know how this game works still. Every new character with a new mechanic, I'm like, well, that spits in the face of everything I've seen before.
So wait, they have completely different mechanics?
Yeah. So we're going to get into these two trailers of Bleach Rebirth of Souls. The first one is Chad. The second one is Urahara.
I will keep my promise.
I mean, it looks great, right? Like it keeps looking good.
Let's go now.
You guys remember a Capcom game called God Man?
God Hand?
God Hand.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
I wasn't expecting this.
That's what he looks like he plays like.
Which, again,
that's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. But then you see the other mechanics of like, but how does this compare to Ichigo and Byakuya? It's like, it's completely different mechanics.
Looks good, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. At least they spent some money.
Yeah.
That's homie's sword?
Yeah.
I have no other choice.
That's the sword without the cane?
Yeah, that's his
release. Yeah, that's his Shikai.
This sword is crazy.
Scream, Benihime. I'll get serious. Just a bit.
Yeah, that looks crazy. That's a nice looking sword.
But even that, I'm like, bro, like, so he just speeds up? He just becomes, like it's one of those things where I'm like, I appreciate the uniqueness of it, but I still don't know the game. You know what I'm saying? Like the overall gameplay. Like, how do these mechanics work in an actual match?
It's not clear.
It's at all.
Okay.
So fellas, Rebirth of Soul. We saw 2 new character trailers with 2 brand new mechanics with each character. Chad having a counter mechanic, Urahara having a mechanic where he speeds up in his gameplay. Is there anything that we could take away from these new trailers? I'm still completely lost.
I hope they
we
release
just
like a beta or
yeah,
something,
they're
or
gonna
at least like
tell us.
a fighting demo to see how it really works. I do like the fact that each character has its own mechanics in a way, because when we really look at it, and gotta give it its flowers. Fighter Z did that for me,
Yeah.
especially everybody had like its own, like they had their own flair of way of doing things, and I feel like I love that type of gameplay because you have to expand on that. Because and you brought up this point to me, because I said like, all right, well, what can Kisuke really have? Because it wasn't until like certain points of the story that we saw the full magnitude of what he could do. But then I remember back then, yes, he was more of the trickster type of gameplay where, oh, if you thought you slashed me, like, no, that's just a portable gi guy. But then here, take this red wave, bam.
Yeah. This trap bomb that I set up with my sword, and I know 65 keto spells and all types. Like,
Yeah.
it's a diverse moveset for sure.
Because, like, for example, like Yororichi, I already could tell like what her fighting style is going to be like. It's going to be a flurry of flashy punches and kicks.
But then it's just like, when I think about that, like, because the thing with fighters, right? Like, fighters works because you're still in like a 2.5, right? Where it's one person on one side, one person on the other. How does this? Granted, I will always like be on the side of unique characters and gameplay. But do you feel like they're running the risk of having characters that are completely at a disadvantage because it's an arena fighter, where it's like
No,
you're gonna have a character where it's like, man, they just suck.
no, it works because look at like Storm. Remember, like for example, and I would say this: the Sound Ninja 4. They all play so differently. Like Sakon, and Sakon was a more taijutsu based character. Jirobo was more of a grappler. Kirumaru was just the spider version of Ten, like just throwing stuff at you, but it's not really hitting you.
Yeah, because the
And
long range characters suck in that game. That's what I'm saying. Like,
and then
1010,
and then
Kitamaru, and
Tayuya
the puppet
just
users were
sucked.
trash.
Tayuya,
Tattoo was garbage. But I think that speaks more to my point of like, you have these characters where it's like, yeah, I appreciate that they fight with a long range play style. It's not just punch, but they're at a disadvantage because, like you said, her attacks literally don't hit you. Like, yeah, you have this whole like spirit yokai summoning mechanic, but if I can't hit anybody with it, I'm not gonna pick this character. I'm just gonna go back
but
to
then you
Heavenly
got
Hand Power Sasuke.
but then you got long range characters like the Mizukage, who is just the definition of
Oh
annoying
yeah,
because he hits you
yeah.
constantly.
The homing water was insane.
Like, bro, like.
Yeah, his jitsu would like about face. You're like, yo. So it's I don't know. Again, we don't know enough about the game for me to say anything, and that's why I said I don't think we got to stick on it too long. I'm just curious, and I wanted to know how you guys felt about how it's shaping up.
It's building
Again,
up
it
very
looks great.
nice. It's building up
I
very,
mean,
very nice.
I expect them to release a commentary of how the game actually plays.
Well, remember they did, and it was still confusing. They
Oh,
did
they
a whole
did?
gameplay
With
overview
who?
with the meters and everything, and I was still like,
Oh,
"What is happening?"
They
okay.
need a demo. They need a
Yeah.
demo.
Jeez, I didn't know. Wow. Okay.
When your Reishi hits the da-da-da-da, you can do this. I'm like, excuse me?
Yeah,
What?
yeah. It's time
Attacks
to
we
drop
never
a
heard
demo.
before.
Yeah.
Nah, that's crazy. Okay.
Yeah. Another topic that we can address real quick. What do you guys think about Marvel Rivals going completely free to play?
It
They
makes
have to.
sense. It makes sense.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
to.
I don't know if
It's
they have to,
no,
but
They
yes,
have to.
they
They
do
have to.
because bro,
okay.
it's the same type of platform as the other games like Valorant and all those other types.
Free.
It's the same type of caliber, bro.
Same
It
thing.
has to be free to play. Nobody was going to pay. I mean, as beautiful as it looks, ain't nobody was going to pay for that.
Especially with the run they're on. Star Wars not getting the season 2. Like they're not on. Bruh, they're not on the run, man. They are.
Yeah.
If you me, that missile is just.
No,
Does
but
it?
it's good. But it's good. I'm definitely looking forward to see what the numbers are looking like when it launches and how it builds up over time because they're gonna sell you a bunch of characters, bro. You already know that.
No, for sure. But it could also be one of those things where that was essentially Multiverse's approach to it, where it's like Multiverse you got to play for free. It was solid. They patched a couple things out of the beta, and then by the time they actually started selling things to you, it's like, yeah, but this game is actually pretty good. I don't mind like paying for these characters now because I know what I'm getting. It's just with Marvel Rivals, I'm like, based on what we've seen, with Dr. Doom being the main villain, and with the roster, do you guys feel like it has like the legs to grow into something?
Man, they got rid of that king quick, huh?
Which king? Oh, Kane. Yeah.
They got rid
we'll see. We'll see over time. Because that's how it is with all these free to play games, man. It all depends on us. It depends on us.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that like I'm glad that the consumers have fought back, quote unquote, so to speak, of like time as a currency. Of like, even if this game is interesting, if there's 6 other live service games, I'm only going to play 1, maybe 2. Right? I don't have time to invest 40 hours into a never-ending game on my console. Like, you're just gonna have to die somewhere. Right? Like, that's the reality of it, right? Like, it's like, especially like, granted, we're not really the target audience. You want teenagers or kids who have a lot more free time on their hands, but even them, it's like Fortnite still got a stranglehold on the youth. Like, let's not forget these other games that have IPs of like, yeah, I'm about to go watch a concert in Roblox. Like, your Captain America is not going to get it done, buddy. I'm sorry. I think there's that balance.
I don't care how cool he is. Stars and stripes.
Yeah. Even his voice actor sounded like the Capcom version of Captain America. I was like, that's dope. But we'll see.
Notice how they didn't reveal any Hulk gameplay. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, they did a little bit. They did a little bit.
And they had to use a completely different Hulk, right? Had it been Banner, oh my gosh. Forget it. You don't have
DLC.
a game.
DLC. World War Hulk coming December, blah, 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 blah.
Forget it. You might as well. I don't even want to talk about it, man.
Yeah.
The Celestials got to go talk to them boys in the X-Men. Celestial, Cyclops, Celestial technology of Apocalypse, Wolverine, and so on. Otherwise, it's not going to happen.
But closing up our topics, or our last couple of range of topics of a company that is determined to make a comeback. We spoke about them a little bit earlier, but it was more on the Capcom side of things. And now we're going to get into the SNK side of things. So around the time of the Terry gameplay for Street Fighter 6, SNK, they've kept their foot on the gas. I got to give it to them. They're, again, the feet in the streets, the mixtape, right? Like, just put the work out, drop the single, drop the video, drop the promotional pack. And we got a Fatal Fury trailer as well as a release date. So let me drop that real quick, and then we could discuss what that's looking like for this next installment in the Fatal Fury franchise.
Southtown, a city of wild
dog right there, man.
A city
where legends
are made. Here, vengeful wolves fought against fate and won.
Yeah, this art is incredible.
There's no finale. Now, 25 years later, are you ready to rock the city once more?
25 years later,
The action kicks off with 22 characters, a mix of 17 familiar faces and new blood, plus 5 DLC fighters and Season Pass 1. Introducing the Rev system.
I saw someone in the comments when this dropped saying that, like, now people have no excuse not to support Fatal Fury.
Gain access to Rev
it's like, oh, the gameplay. The gameplay looks fire. Oh, the graphics. The graphic looks fire. Oh, the roster. 22 characters at launch ain't bad.
Classic series mechanics are back in full force. And then some.
And yeah, the whole roster is not done yet, so.
Right.
Perform flashy combos at the push of a button with the
simple controls for newcomers.
When you're ready to take on the world, jump online with crossplay and rollback netcode.
Crossplay out the gate.
Hone your skills against auto-generated AI.
Crossplay. Out the gate? Oh, okay. Well, that's wise.
In an all-new RPG mode, EOST. Level up your fighter, equip skills, and dominate the opposition on your way to the top. Customize characters your way with color edit, outfits, gear, patterns, and more. Groove to your favorite
I don't got a lot.
Capcom's foaming at the mouth.
Background music too.
You want to give this to them for free? What?
In the struggle for Geese's legacy. Rev it up. Your legend begins now. Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves.
I ain't gonna lie, Wesker's Chris Redfield sick.
Pre-order now. Available as a special edition bundle featuring the base game and Season Pass 1. Pre-order your copy for a bonus Fatal Fury 2 Terry DLC costume and 3 days of
comes with the first Season Pass.
$59.99?
Yeah, with the Season Pass included.
You know who did that too? Under Night. They know it. They know what to do, bro.
Hey, if it works, it works.
Yeah, it does, man.
I'm actually very happy for them. Though,
also, the last game has Garou Mark of the Wolves is also available on PSN, and it has robot netcode as well.
Okay.
So if y'all want to check that out before it comes out.
I mean, when they hit with the right discount price, I'll be adding
No, bro, it's that price is beautiful. I think it's only like actually I'll look it up right now. Give me 1 second.
Okay. In the meantime, S. Frank, what are your thoughts on what you saw with the trailer release date and everything?
It's fire. I just
$14.99.
Capcom's version of Terry.
You said what about Capcom's version?
I want to play Capcom's version of Terry. I'm sorry, man. It was nice, but it was just like, man, had this been released side by side by Street Fighter V, would have had a contender. You know, Street Fighter V or 4, great contender.
But
I know it's not fair because they're making a comeback.
It's not fair,
and they're getting there.
Yeah,
they're getting there. So, but at the same time, Street Fighter 4's animation still slaps, dog.
Yeah, even with the huge feet and hands.
Even with the huge feet, Street Fighter 5 animation still slaps. You know, like even though the art direction was questionable, the animation for Street Fighter 5 is still good, man. You know, this one still feels a little bit of like that, like a flashcards. You know, it's better now. It's not out yet. I'm gonna wait. It looks way better than it did from the first initial trailers.
It's still
maybe I might be I'm being a little too harsh, but
no, I don't think
if they don't drop any, if Kim is not on this roster, guys, what are you doing? Joe, Kim, Andy. What was going? What?
So I just found out something interesting. Apparently the Garou Mark of the Wolves, it's no longer available for purchase on PSN. Like it's still listed, but
they're about to give a pack.
But it's under the PlayStation Plus Premium. So I don't know. Are they trying? I'm trying to figure out. Like, is SNK trying to and package it with something?
Yeah, they are.
Wow.
You know, when a delisting happens, is either 1, the license ran out, which obviously it didn't, or 2, that bundle is coming.
No, it's not delisted. It's still available through, like, if you have PlayStation Plus under their premium tier. Mm-hmm. But it's like to regularly buy it for like the regular price that I told you. It said no, it's not available. I was like, that's weird. Because I was just looking at it the other day because I was considering purchasing it as well.
I think we're gonna get a bundle, and if I know for a fact Garou's gonna do well because the King of Fighters the other King of Fighter games did well. They did very good. They did good for someone trying to make a comeback. Mm-hmm. And this one has effort and spark and a lot more flair. It's becoming its own. The artistry, it's having its own flavor. So I'm excited. I want to see what they do with the Samurai Showdown series.
I think they gotta focus on King of Fighters first.
You know, I'm just saying. But
you
know, build a B team, man. It's the way.
Not even because the thing is, like, and I'm not saying obviously none of us have any ties at SNK, right? We don't really know just based off impressions. But the impression I get, and you guys can feel free to correct me, but I truly do think they're trying to make Terry a flagship fighting character now. Like, he is in the fighting game community. Like, everyone knows Terry, like, or recognizes him and the hat and all the trademark things. But I don't think SNK characters has had the same level of crossover success as, say, Ryu and Chun-Li, right? You could put Ryu and Chun-Li on a cereal box at this point. Like, they just have that much mainstream crossover. I think SNK wants King of Fighters to kind of have that same level of, like, listen, We just want again, like we want to throw our name into the hat of the big three. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like we want it to be Kazuya, Ryu, Scorpion, and us. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's what they want.
But they also gotta recognize who's popular. We all know who Kyo is and Iori. Do you not? You may not know, but the fighting game community knows. That's the dude with the red hair and the chains on his feet. That awesome character design. And then his rival, Kyo, with the white headband and black and white clothing. And then Kim, you have Kim. These guys and Joe, people know who they are. If you're a fighting game person, you know who they are. If you only accustomed to Street Fighter, well, that's fine. Street Fighter is a lot more noticeable. It's a lot of people's favorite games, but those dudes are just as popular once you get into the fighting world, fighting game world. Like people, oh man, they just now getting into Tekken. They didn't know King is a favorite. Now they can feel.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
You feel me?
They
you
King.
did, but some of them did it.
No, I'm saying because again, like, right, we have to look at the more casual aspect of these fighting games.
Yeah,
Yoshimitsu, right?
No,
like,
but the thing is, the design is a slap, and those for King of Fighters or Garo, Makuo's Garu, whatever. I'm not gonna say whatever, but Garu. But those guys are iconic. I knew who Iori was before I did. I knew who Terry. Always knew who Terry was. But Andy is not as popular as Kim. You know, they know who Andy is, but he's not as popular as Kim, Kyo, and Iori. And even let's go. Let's say, and then even the Shermie, Mai, you know, B Jeanette. They are very popular. So I don't think Terry Rock is more popular than Terry. A lot of people like Rock just as much as Terry. I'm more familiar with Terry, but Rock is a lot of people's favorite character. I talked to my buddy. He's a fighting game aficionado. He's like, nah, man, yo, you talking crazy right now. Rock Howard is on another level. I said, really? They said, yeah. So I'm like, okay.
But I think that just speaks to the niche, though, right? Like, and it's. I'm not saying anything you're saying is wrong. I just think like it's kind of like, you know, when we talk about games, it's like the certain games that we talk about with the level of knowledge that we have of the impact. You got to think about that mainstream person. Like when I walk in or when I'm browsing the online store, whatever the case may be. We've said it on this podcast countless times. It's the visual appeal. What got me into Blaze Blue initially was like, I'm like, yo, these character designs look amazing. What is this? I have to play this, right? And then the roster turned me away. I'm like, but the roster design was what dragged me in, right? It's like when you hear Tim talk about Under Night, the things that I've seen, I'm like, yo, this is an anime-based fighter, but these character designs look fire. Now, granted, maybe it's not getting the marketing it needs to take it to that next level, but I can't deny what I'm looking at. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, but it still has to have that mainstream crossover of like, what makes someone say like, yeah, I want to go see the newest SNK character just as much as I want to see a Street Fighter character. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing that like, I don't think that SNK has. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that crossover is going to help. I think if they can somehow get an SNK character into Tekken, that would be even like that would take it to an even higher level. I don't know how that would work, but
they did.
No, I'm just saying like Tekken 8,
the new one,
right?
Tekken 8?
The new Tekken, yeah.
I think it might happen.
It might. You know, I just feel like that those type of things would help SNK, but like people like, yo, what? Because like you said, we're about to talk about Terry in a second. Street Fighter. I'm like, bro, he looks amazing.
Jeez,
amazing.
I was
amazing,
like, man. And they got 2 alternate versions for his win pose.
Yeah, 2 alternate versions for his special.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Open that bottle of Sprite.
Yeah,
and drink it.
Tim, any thoughts before we move into the Street Fighter crossover?
No, we can go ahead into that.
Okay. Like I said, I'm all for companies throwing their hat back in the ring, like compete. I hate this monopolized, gentrified, where like one game runs everything. So the fact that they're like trying to swing back,
we all do. Man.
You know, like
I never wanted SNK to vanish. Nobody ever wanted it to vanish.
Right.
You know, they just because we were like, yo, Capcom. Because for me, real quick, I was under boom, Capcom dropped something. Street Fighter 4. Where's SNK's version? Never happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know, You had Splinter Cell. Then you had Metal Gear Solid. Both completely different. Both stealth games.
Yeah.
You know, I do miss that. I do miss that.
No,
but yeah.
I miss it too. And I think, or I'm hoping, right? I think that's what we're starting to see again from Konami, SNK, and Sega. Of like, it's too like monopolized on too many of these genres where it's like, we've all been through the dark ages where it's like if you wanted to play a certain genre, you had to wait for one developer only to give you a quality version of that game, and it drove me crazy. Right, I'm like the little window they had to kind of get me into first person shooters. I'm like, I don't want to play Call of Duty till I'm 90, and then Battlefield was there, and I was like, oh, okay, now I got options, and then Battlefield fell off. Right, like you get 2K. I'm like, okay, 2K is cool. Starts getting a little Monopoly. Is NBA Live coming back? NBA Live came back and fell right back off. It's just like, well, you know, like you just like, well, now I got to retire from this genre of game that I enjoyed because I keep getting half finished buggy garbage. Or just, you know, streamline the same old thing every year at a new price tag. But yeah, let's get into, you know, the thing that we've been alluding to all pod, the thing that I can already kind of gauge everyone's response to before we even play the trailer. But I'll play it just for our viewing audience, just as something to discuss. You know, it's Terry's official gameplay trailer for Street Fighter 6. All right. I don't think it got a release date though, no? Right?
I think it did. We'll see.
I think it's still for the fall.
This is good. I'm guessing that's October?
Probably.
I'm still on a journey. Come get some.
It might be early September.
Experiencing new things, meeting new faces, having good fights. Fight, drink, eat, sleep, repeat. Seriously, it's a good life. I'll pick up the check.
Man, this is a good crossover.
Mm-hmm.
Very lively. Jeez.
Nah, this stage is beautiful, bro.
Yeah, this is a good character design, man.
Yeah.
It just fits with that 80s slugger. It's perfect. Trucker. You didn't even have to have a crazy job, man. You just needed a hobby.
It's like it looks like it works construction during the week and street fights on the weekend.
I work at Dairy Queens at night and get off, and I'm beating people across the pool table. Yo, this costume right here,
updated costume too.
I'm glad he beating up Luke like this. I hate Luke.
Yeah, Luke was a waste, bro.
I hate Luke.
A failed experiment.
And then you guys are forcing me to like him.
Apparently the third blonde hair, blue-eyed experiment.
Yep. Because Sean somehow wouldn't work, right?
It makes too much sense.
Right. Yeah.
It just makes too much sense.
We can't do another Shoto character. Why? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, I've seen 6 Hadouken characters and I loved every single one of them. It's fine. Like,
6.
Did you all see his level 3 super Terry's?
Yeah.
Bro.
Special beam fist cannon.
Bro. Nah, the Kid Goku King Piccolo punch basically. He uses the fist to push himself off the ground and like
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, I know.
Man.
That's dope. That's dope, man. I'm really looking forward to this.
You know when you see the characters and they play exactly how you want them to play, their movements, the choice of attack, and it's just like, yo, I have to play this character. You know? And then it's just one of those moments where you see how a character fights and he plays exactly how he feels. You're like, yo, man, you see Hit playing Dragon Ball Z Fighter Z, and you're like, man, this hit plays amazing. Then you play Gohan. You pick Gohan and you like, yo, this is how Gohan should have felt in all the games. A problem. You sell a problem.
Yeah. Yamcha.
A problem. Tien. Krillin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo, man. Yeah, but
now the one thing that I'm very happy about this crossover is like, bro, Capcom versus SNK 3 is
about to
going
be
to
amazing.
happen. It is going, because bro, the momentum of these collections, bro, it's like, bro, it is
it's
right
like,
there in your face.
you know
it's
what?
right there.
Y'all ever seen the video of Hulk Hogan and Macho Man?
With
the mega powers combined, and you just feel that, yo, or it's that perfect handshake with from on Predator.
On Predator,
Dylan and Dutch. Yo, it's that's what I'm seeing right now, man. And you know, it's so crazy, man. And you know, Harada be like, yo, you guys are having too much fun without me, man. Let's talk.
For real. For real.
Because you already know what characters are going to be, or I would say what two franchises are going to be revived in that crossover. Darkstalkers, Rival Schools.
One can hope.
Yeah.
No. Darkstalkers,
it'll be Rival Schools first. It'll be Rival Schools first.
Only because of Mortal Kombat. Y'all have Mortal Kombat to think. You mean people actually like a very bloody game? Capcom, how do you like these characters that are almost as ghoulish as Mortal Kombat?
Yeah. And like I've said multiple parts, I'm like, they've already established that Morgan and them are just from a different dimension within the same universe. It would be this. It makes all the sense in the world. They're from a world of ghouls and goblins. Done. You don't have it. Don't take you. Oh, well, how would we work?
And those character designs, man,
they're just from a different dimension.
Those character designs, man. Morgan alone. The Sasquatch, their redesigns. Oh man, you know they're gonna sell those classic costumes, but their redesigns.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we did have. I wish I had taken a screenshot so we could talk about it. There was a comment someone left on our Terry video of
really?
Someone, yeah, and it was pretty lengthy. Made a lot of sense. I'll see if I can find it. So I don't want to misquote the person, but they made it like a good point in terms of how they feel Capcom is handling their characters when it comes to Street Fighter 6 and what they would prefer to see. And I was like, you know what? I'm not mad at this. So the take was pretty much, my problem with Capcom is that they have no idea what to do with the stuff they have other than make what they want. Their decisions sure aren't fan-based. How many characters does Street Fighter have? What's the reason they can't put Sean in this game? What about Cody's brother Kyle? How about Rose, or dare I say Q? If you're gonna go the crossover route, just stop all the BS and make it happen. Street Fighter X Mortal Kombat. So, what are y'all thoughts about?
That's actually that's what we've been saying.
Yeah,
there's plenty of characters. There's plenty of characters to pull from, bro. They try to bank too much off nostalgia, and you know, as we can see, you know, gaming consequences no longer have consequences, bro. Bison, Heihachi, Frieza. There's no consequences no more, bro. And that's the part where, the part where I was saying that the story is starting to stagger now. It's just starting to stagger now because nothing has consequences anymore.
You know, but this is good that it's happening because they're gonna now learn, right? Okay, you know what? For a fighting game, story is just as important. They might learn it, they might not.
I don't think they will because, as we've talked about in previous pods, it seems like they can't make up their minds, right? Because remember, like I said, I think that they looked at Mortal Kombat for a while as a blueprint of like, oh, people really do want to know the story and the lore or whatever of these characters, and the story-driven single player makes more sense. But then when the writing isn't there, we're just like, yo, this is horrible. I actually wish you didn't if you're gonna do this, right? And I think that was one of the many reasons why Street Fighter V suffered. Of like, this is what you're doing with these characters, y'all. You basically ruined Charlie. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things where it's like, do we want that story-based world? But what if they can't provide it?
No, yes, they can, bro. Like, especially all that. No, all the anime writers they've had for Street Fighter, bro. You mean to tell me you can't apply those same anime writers to this story?
Don't tell me, tell them. Like,
Nah, bro.
yeah, you see,
That's lazy. That's
yeah,
lazy, bro.
don't tell me. Mm, yeah, and right, and here's the secret: they're all Street Fighter fans, so they would love to do it. I could believe that. And there's a lot of people who are fans of Rurouni Kenshin. Kishimoto, author of Naruto, he's a big Rurouni Kenshin fan. Like, my whole thing is like, I'm fine. Again, I'm not opposed to a story driven or a story with consequences of some sort, right? And again, I think there is space for that one character who died, but we all love him, so that he's still playable, but if he has no effect on the story. But I think the issue is, we're not getting good stories. That's the problem, right? Even with us all, for the most part, enjoying Tekken 8 story, like, let's call it for what it is. At one point, it just becomes the story of father and son, because he just shows up, murders everybody, and then flies off to fight Jin for 10 chapters.
Bad writing. Like, bad writing. That's what that was. Bad
you know
writing.
what I'm saying? It's just like, you had something here. The story, I was like, okay, the tournament and the lens. I'm like,
listen.
I'm liking this. Yeah.
When we hear M. Night Shyamalan, how do we act in the theater?
Yep. Had me in the first half, I'm not gonna lie.
You feel me? So, dog, like, it's the writing, man. It's not that it can't happen. It's the writing, man. Because you can't have me solve the problem of Tekken to where I'm like, yo, where's? So you mean to tell me, Heihachi's wife clan, they just, okay,
non-existent.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Right. Right. Or the fact, or you're telling me that, like, Sean is Ken's pupil, but Ken is going through a depressed phase, so Sean is nowhere to be found.
Nowhere to help his master.
And this is after Street Fighter 3?
But Sakura's gonna find a way to Ryu?
Yeah.
And then right. Okay, so this was what floored me in Tekken. You have the nine-tailed beast inside you. You go to the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Kazuya starts the tournament just so that he can raise chaos in you, right? Mm-hmm. Instead of going to why didn't she go directly into the hands of the Lars corpse? Where's Lydia? Lydia don't see this and be like, well, okay, we're not gonna fire no Polish missiles.
Well, that's what story DLC is for. Remember, that's why we're getting this whole spin-off expansion of what were they doing when the world was falling apart for the third time in this universe?
Yeah, and then at the same time, you have no other assassination groups going after Jin. Like, Jin just gonna leave scot-free? Right.
Everyone else was like, well, his heart was in the right place. So, the whole worldwide terrorist thing.
No. and then now you have a character named, you give a title to a character named Master Raven. I'm mad she's not in the game. I love Raven. I love both of them. I love Raven, but that's my problem when you make clones, right? You don't make them unique enough. You make them to try to replace people for no reason. Then you want to... One thing I loved about
renege.
Yes, yeah, renege. Mm-hmm. Walk it back when it's not. No, like he's saying renege. Like they want to walk and retcon things when it's like, this didn't work. Well,
yeah, and it's like
just he was always like, what?
I like the fact that not all of your fighters look like the region they were from. I love that. it made Tekken feel like it was for everybody. Now you want to region lock people because they're from this person has to be this. It just Tekken wasn't like that though. You had a guy from learning karate. Now he's American, it's okay. You had a dude from other countries learning how to fight that weren't originally from there. That was dope. Now, like, Virtual Fighter is Virtual Fighter for a reason. It's okay to have the variety. Why does Lydia know karate if she's Polish? Why doesn't she know some form of Polish wrestling? They have wrestling, right? But okay, let's give her karate.
I guess
so. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? What I'm seeing with the imbalance, it's like, continue to move with that. Geese Howard. Geese Howard is an American man that can do. That's gonna fight you with his Kempo. That's cool.
I don't know, bro. Like I said, I'm all for story-based roster, story-based movement, story-based story that like moves the plot forward. But it just seems they keep stumbling. Which I guess leads me to my last question of the night. Do you guys feel like some of these crossover characters, especially in a sense where, obviously the two companies have a good working relationship, is this something where we should expect Terry to be a mainstay in Street Fighter 7, right? Do we work these crossover characters into the lore of this property?
No.
Okay.
No.
Any particular reason why you wouldn't want to see that?
No, because it's too much. It's too much to work with.
It turns into like what Akuma did, his presence did in Tekken. It's cool. I love it. But now
it's one and done.
One and done. You got to do it a one and done. Terry's visiting. Terry's not related to nobody in that city. Terry moves on. You know what I'm saying? My happens to go someplace, they move on. If this builds up for a crossover, okay, I won't be as mad, right? And then they exist, and both of the different planes, and most of these characters don't meet each other because they live on two different countries. So,
Okay. I was just curious. Like, I mean, again, we're seeing something where, like you said, like
you want to see them try to juggle something like that. We were thinking about making Terry this way. No, and then boom, companies tear apart.
I mean, they can barely handle their final fight in Rival Schools universe crossing over. So I don't want to see it. I'm just saying, like, given
Where's
how
where is Guy if he trained Kimberly? And Zeku don't got no new people. Like, I mean, he's a Strider. Y'all did that. We didn't do. Y'all did that. Watch us find the Captain Commando related to Gaio, and you find out that's Gaio's great grandson. I'm telling you, he's the son of Charlie that Gaio never knew.
Right.
This stuff gets me hot, dog.
You see the cutscene, there's like a zoom cutaway. Father.
I should have never have to look at History Behind the Warrior to find the chronological order of all the Tekken characters, Street Fighter characters, Soul Calibur characters. Not that I love his channel, by the way, and thank you for your hard work.
Of course, 1,000%.
Thank you
1,000%
for your kind work. But my goodness, y'all don't. Oh man, did you know that Kazuya died in Tekken 4? No.
Never brought it up ever again.
It's like, dog, y'all work for the company. Y'all work here. This is your job. This is the one thing we ask y'all to do.
Right.
Is just know your history. And y'all can't. Hey, I was reading, right? So if Ken is gonna be a construction worker, nobody's gonna recognize him?
Yeah.
And he's being framed for murder? And he's just working at a construction site?
Yeah. Or like you said about the whole thing with Kazuya, it's like, if the reanimation is a thing, is that how we introduce some of these characters that have died? Is that Hayachi's comeback story? Can we bring back Jinpachi? Like what is the scope of what we can do with reanimation?
And if I have one Kazuya, why don't I have more?
Yeah. I got 45 different Jacks.
35.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then why is Tekken Tag separated from Tekken?
No, let's keep that separate.
Let's keep that separate?
Yeah,
okay.
Keep that separate. Yeah. I like the aspect of being able to do completely different things with the same franchise. Like I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Like, all right. No need for those worlds to blend. I don't need Tekken tag mechanics in Tekken. Like, let those be those own.
No. I'm not asking for that, but that could just be a mode. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. It could just be a mode.
It could just be a mode.
I mean, I'm not against that. Yeah, I'm not against that at all. I just think certain things. I'm like, I can appreciate the
because unless Tekken tag starts moving like Super Smash Brothers, it like you could just make this a mode. You know what I'm saying?
Or go more Marvel vs. Capcom. Go more fanatical. Go more over the top.
Okay. I'll take that.
It's its own thing. You know?
Yeah, it's its own thing. Then I'll take that.
Crossover supers again. The family electric fist. Go for it. Why not?
Okay.
Clearly, that's the type of time
Tekken tag is going to be something crazy.
Yeah.
Tekken tag is going to be something crazy.
Yeah, Tekken 8 was Dragon Ball Z.
So jump off of a motorcycle.
Yeah. Mid-fight.
Yeah.
But all right, fellas, I think that pretty much wraps up our pod for tonight. Excellent topics, excellent discussion. Once again, thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you for your patience. I know it's been a rough couple of weeks with some significant breaks in between pods, but we're back on it. We have some more exciting things coming to you soon. Hopefully more streams, hopefully more something else, something more than one pod a week. All right. So in the meantime, continue to like, subscribe. We do see that subscriber count going up on YouTube. Always appreciate more comments and feedback. And yeah, this has been Antonius the Gamer, Super SSS Rank, Mikkel Smith. We are the Press Start Select Podcast. Until next time.
Like and subscribe. We love you.
Yes, sir.